What's going on, everyone? Brian here from Native Instruments. Today, I'm here to talk about the brand new Native Instruments 360 subscription. In this walkthrough, I'm going to be creating two styles of music just using instruments from 360 Plus. Let's start with our first style. I'm going to first create some chords using Alicia's keys. To create some chords, I'm going to be using the Chords tool inside of Kontakt 8. There's a ton of different presets that I can choose from. To trigger the chords, all you have to do is press the white keys. If you want to change the key that the progression plays in, all you have to do is click on the key icon at the top right, and you can choose from different root notes and different types of scales. As long as you've locked in the key, anytime you randomize a chord preset, the key is always going to be the same. With the Chords tool, I can actually record my own progression. All I have to do is click on the record icon below each circle. Once the record button is armed, I just play the chord that I want to play in this slot. Once I'm done, click the record button again. I'm going to repeat this process and fill up each one of the slots in the Chords tool. Now that I've recorded all of the chords, all I need to do is press the white keys on the keyboard and it's going to be playing back the progression. I can play it in sequential order, or I can jump around and create a new progression using the chords I recorded. Now, rather than having to play in complex chords on the fly, all I have to do is just press the white keys and record this as MIDI into Ableton. I want a different instrument to play this, so I'm going to click on the browser on the left and then scroll down to find Electric Phoenix. Let's load up this preset. Using the macro knobs, I can customize the sound further. From here, I can customize the sound of this electric piano more. I can go to the Instruments tab and change characteristics, or go to the Effects section. Clicking on any of the effects in the slot, I can start manipulating these presets. If I want to create something new, I just click on an empty slot, and there's tons of different categories and different types of amp effects to choose from. Now for the bass, I'm going to choose Icon Bass. Now for the preset though, I'm going to choose Melody, where I can play in the bass line myself or still have access to different bass line patterns. There are different playing styles and patterns I can choose from. In the Amp and Effects section, I can either add new effects or swap out the existing ones and customize the sound even further. Let's track in the bass line. I want to double up the bass line and have a synth play that line as well. I'm going to load up Massive X and select bass and then analog bass. I'll customize it a bit more using the macro knobs at the top. Rather than playing it, I'm just going to copy the MIDI pattern over. I'm also going to lower the MIDI by an octave. For the next section here, I want to have the same progression in the beginning be played by a different instrument. What you can do is either drag in each individual chord, or what you can do is click on this icon and it's going to drag all 7 chords. Each one is going to be about 1/4 of a bar long, so you'll have to go into the Ableton MIDI clip and then just start rearranging it to play the pattern that you want. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want it to be played by a Kontakt instrument, but something else like Massive X. I want the delay to be a little bit more dramatic, so let's load up Replica XT and I can select from different presets. During this section, I also want to have a high sustained string, so I'm going to load up the Symphony Essentials string library. I also want this string to pump a little bit, so I'm going to load up Guitar Rig 7 Pro and load up one of my favorite presets, which is Auto Sidechain. By adjusting the input trim, this changes how much it's going to pump by. I'm also going to use Electric Vintage to create this 16th note kind of palm muted plucking sound. Just like Icon Bass, I can have different playing techniques such as open or muted, or I can select from different patterns. I'll create a new MIDI clip inside of Ableton and draw out the 16th notes and copy this over. I'm then going to use Ableton's Velocity Randomizer just to give it a little bit more motion. I'll load up another instance of Electric Vintage, and this time I want to create kind of a reverbed out melody. I'm going to first customize the reverb. I'll then start adjusting the delay settings. Let's record it in. Most importantly, we can't forget about adding some drums. I have Empire Breaks loaded. I can either just play in a pattern myself, or I can go to the pattern section. I have the option to record in the MIDI notes that trigger the patterns, or what I'll do is just drag and drop these directly into the DAW. I can drag and drop different patterns, arrange them, and since these are MIDI, I can also edit the patterns after the fact. To polish up this idea, I'm going to be using Ozone to do a rough master. I'm going to use the mastering assistant and just click this icon and play the loudest part of the track. Let's listen to a quick before and after using Mastering Assistant. Now that everything's in here, let's listen to this idea from the beginning. Let's create a new idea, and we're going to use Vocal Colors to start, which is part of the 360 Plus subscription. I absolutely love this instrument, and it's a great vocal thing to use. Let's take a listen to a few of the sound examples. With Vocal Colors, we can turn on the Particles engine and we can hear different presets. Clicking on the Particles preset name, it brings up a browser and there's tons of presets you can choose from. You can choose something like Cinematic and find different options. Each one of them is going to give your sound and instrument a unique quality to it. Let's start with this and record it in. Next, I'm going to use Playbox, which is also another amazing instrument to use. It's super fun and creative, and it's a great way to spark ideas. This instrument is based on chords, and it's very simple to use with just 8 keys. What you can do though is you can change what scale it's in from, let's say, F minor, and you can lock it in, so anytime you randomize a preset, the key is always going to be saved. Using the dice in the top left, this randomizes which preset you're going to be playing. Clicking the preset name brings up the preset browser, and there's a wide range of categories you can select from, like getting started, and just selecting any one of the presets. A lot of this instrument has to do with randomization. Down in the bottom right, you can also randomize the effects that are being applied. Each one's going to give your chord something unique. You can also open up the effects browser and choose from a wide variety of effects presets. Also, clicking the Effects tab brings up additional effect parameters that you can select and change. Clicking the Chords tab is going to bring up all of the chords that will be played with each individual note. I'm going to extend the vocal part a couple of times inside of Logic. I'm going to use Battery for my drums, and I have a handful of libraries from the Battery Now library favorited. This one sounds good, so let's record in a drum beat. For my bass sound, I'm looking for a Reese bass sound, and I'm going to use Massive X. So I'll just search for Reese, and here's one. I'll tweak some of the macro knobs to get it sounding just right. Let's go ahead and duplicate this out a couple of times. I'm also going to do a bit of arrangement just to give this track a little bit more structure. For a short breakdown section, I'm going to use something from Straylight. Straylight works by combining a granular synth with a sampler. I like the grain, but I don't like the sample, so I'm just going to click here to disable it. Clicking on grain brings up the settings for the granular engine. From here, you can adjust grains. You can either have it be synced based on tempo or free sync. I'm going to change this to eighth note triplets. I'm also going to adjust the range, which changes what part of the sample is generating the sound. I want to add some additional effects, and I'm going to use Guitar Rig for that. Under Effects Types, I can select Modulation and select from different presets. I like this effect, but I'm going to turn off Noise Machine. I'm also going to open up ROM and adjust some of the settings in here. I'm just going to arrange these ideas a little bit, and then let's play this idea back from the top. As you can hear, there's some really high quality instruments and effects that are available in 360 Plus. Try it out for yourself for free for 14 days at nativeinstruments.com. Thanks for watching.